Hello, darlings. It's Leah Simone. Welcome to our channel, Yours, Mine, and the Divine. Before we get started, you guys, I want to just take a minute to say, oh my God, thank you. I know I'm probably coming across so dramatic right now, but I sincerely want to take a second to thank each of you guys, the new subscribers. I'm new, obviously, to the channel and posting tarot, but you guys, your feedback, interacting with you guys, interacting with your energy when I'm reading has been so incredible. Actually, before I started recording this, already obviously, well, I don't know if I would imagine that you guys have some kind of understanding that I'm already picking up on your energy, and it's so overwhelming. And so I just want to take the time to say thank you guys so much. The reason why I say this is our channel is because it's a space that's safe, and you guys contribute your energy to these readings just as much as I do, just as much as Spirit does. And so it's our channel. If it wasn't for you guys, these readings would not occur. So I just wanted to take a quick moment to say thank you so much. I super appreciate your support. Stay here as long as you need, and if or when you decide that you've had your fill or this channel has served its purpose, I send you off with so much love and gratitude. In the meantime, though, we're going to get into it. So today we're actually going to be doing a reading on who you are in relationships. So this can be a romantic relationship, platonic relationship, in a family dynamic, however it's going to come through is how it's going to come through, but this is generally going to talk about who you are in a relationship. And in this reading, we're going to go over just your general overall character, and then what aspects of your character work for your benefit in building, growing, nurturing relationships, and then what aspects create friction in relationships. So of course, we have 3 piles to choose from, you guys. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. I'm going to put a picture up. Let me know in the comments if it's helpful for you guys for me to raise the stones so you guys can see them. If I don't really get feedback, or if you guys are really indifferent about it, then I'll just continue to post the picture and let you guys take your time. So the timestamps will be listed below, and I will see you at your pile. Okay, so pile 1. I don't know if you are into watching the shuffle or not. If you are, you might have seen that the way that my process in that, I know it was sped up, but you might have seen that my process in that was very, I don't know that it would come through when I go back and edit it, because I'm going to speed it up. But let me just tell you what I was experiencing. The energy, I felt, first of all, extremely freaking nervous. I'm describing your energy. I felt extremely freaking nervous, and it felt like the nervous that you have when there are expectations of you. I think that you are holding yourself to. I don't know that anyone is necessarily, okay, so what I heard is that it's you, or it's like a voice in the head. So you might have had an interaction, I'm getting, with like a loved one, maybe a parent that has long passed, or this conversation happened maybe in your youth, or at some point. The specifics of it doesn't matter. It doesn't necessarily have to be a parent, but there's a significant person, maybe a guardian of some sort. There's a significant person in your life that was that you had a conversation with, who might have said something to you that you have held on to and like cycle in your mind. And this thing that was said to you might have made you feel like you weren't good enough, or like you messed up, or maybe you made a choice and they were like, you can't, they might have, or you might have thought that you couldn't come back from it based on how whatever this conversation was, it makes you, or there's a lot of pressure that you put on yourself based on this interaction that you had. I'm heavily getting that it's an interaction, but if it with an interaction, but this, you may not readily recognize it as that. You may not readily recognize how much your thoughts and contribute to how you go about doing what you do. And what I mean by that is the expectations and the pressure that you put on yourself. And it's like such perfectionism. Even just looking at this, like seeing this little thing right here, it's like, I can't see it and not correct it. How this is not balanced, it's not symmetrical. My hands, you can't really tell in the camera, but I feel so shaky. And I feel kind of like winded and out of breath. So I'm going to tie this in a minute. So how does this relate to who you are in a relationship? That's you. You're a person that has high expectations of yourself. And so because of that, I think you also have, you have high expectations of yourself. Because you have these high expectations of yourself, you have this kind of like nervous, fidgety kind of energy, and perfectionism. Like whether it's intentional or whether you're even aware of it, I'm just getting, okay, so what's coming through now is like so much thought in the details of your interactions, things that maybe I don't know how most people think or interact, because full disclosure, my brain, I am not neurotypical. I'm neurodivergent. So my brain, especially when it comes to relationships, doesn't compute the same way everybody else does, which is neither here nor the reason why I said that is because I don't know what is normal or what's not. But the way that the energy that I'm feeling is reminding me of that. It's reminding me of that like neurodivergent energy where it's like overthought, and it's like every type of I heard the tiny facets of the relationship interactions, yourself, your body language, the words that you're using, the other person. It's so, oh my God, it's overwhelming. How do I even describe this? This is this is my brain. So I have autism. And that's what this is reminding me of. You may or may not have autism. You may have another neurodivergence, maybe ADHD, bipolar disorder, dyslexia, dyscalculia. There's a few. So if you want to Google what neurodivergence is, maybe you might learn something about yourself. But that plays a heavy role in how you interact with people, because where most people, and let me be clear, this isn't like a calculated, manipulative type of energy. This is not, let me be this perfect robot type of person so that I can get this person to do whatever. It's not that. It's quite the opposite, actually. Your energy is, so what's happening here is that you may have experienced throughout your life a common trope that was told to you about who you are that was rejected. So somewhere along the lines, people might have told you or made you feel that you're weird, and how you talk to people, how you connect, the way that you think about things, the way you express your emotions, the way that you process and interact. Okay, so I heard curt and abrupt. So those are things that people might have, those are words that people might use or might have used to describe you. Also like very spacey. People may see you kind of as like, I want to say like disconnected from the, like, how do I describe this? Okay, so what this is like people are projecting their own experience and their own idea of what a normal relationship is onto you, not knowing, maybe not understanding, not being aware, whatever the situation is, of how you process things and how you interact. So you may have a literal type brain. What's an example of what that means? Like, you're not necessarily a person that it's like, so you have, through your lifetime, you have through your lifetime, through your experiences, you have learned what is how to interact with people based on their response. So you might say something or do something that seems disconnected from the energy of the interaction, and people are kind of, they might, be like, what the they might be confused by that. And for you, you don't, it's like you're not, your brain is literal. So, and let me go back to what I was saying. When I say your brain is literal, I don't mean that if someone says, it's raining cats and dogs, that you're literally going to look outside for cats and dogs. But I mean, you might. So if you do, it's all good. But it's something along the lines of like, I don't know. There's one specific, okay, this is the example that is coming to me. So this is a very, very, very baseline example. So you can experience this on different extremes, but a very base example of like how a literal brain works. I'm giving you my own experience. One time I was sitting down and I was spending time with my daughter, and she was drawing a picture and I was doing a word search. We were sitting at the same table so I could see what she was doing and she could see what I was doing. So I was doing a word search, whatever. I finished it. I flipped over to the next page. I started on the other one, a couple like seconds or whatever passes. And then my daughter goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "A word search." And for me, my brain is confused because I'm like, you can see that I'm doing a word search. What she wasn't asking me was, what am I doing? What she was asking, or what she was trying to ask, was like, what category of the puzzle was I doing? Because I had moved on from the other one. My brain didn't register that. So I'm like, I'm doing a word search. That was my response. So that's an example of how a literal brain works, or mine anyway. So you may be able to relate to that. So with that example, in your relationships, I think people expect you to, again, interact in a normal way where you can pick up on things that are quote unquote common sense, or, it's like there's this expectation that you should know how to interact with people because you have made it so far in life. You're a certain age, or you're a certain status, or you're a certain this, or you're a certain that, right? And like that would be fine for someone that's neurotypical, but you're not. So whether you identify or whether you're diagnosed or undiagnosed, there is an element about you that I like promise. I'm just getting the energy that you may not even know this about yourself, about this neurodivergence, but I promise you, if you start researching like neurotypical, I don't know what you would call that, like disorders or something, what are like divergencies? I don't know. If you start researching that, I promise you, you're going to find something, and it probably will shock the hell out of you, honestly, and to recognize like, oh, wow, I do have this. So that's a side note. But okay, so back to who you are in this relationship. So because you, in not this relationship, sorry, in relationships in general. So because you have this neurodivergence, you are seen, okay, I just heard, she's a cold-hearted, is it she or he? I don't know. Whoever, he, she is a cold-hearted snake. That's Paula Abdul, right? Is that her name? Paula Abdul. So I think people think that you are more, okay, I just heard more facetious that you are. And I was going to say sneaky, but Spirit said facetious. So there's this element that people think that you are this way intentionally, like you're trying to be mean, or you're trying to pull people down. Like you may be seen as someone that's kind of like negative or malicious. So people, you may be seen as someone that's like strategic in that way, because the way that you interact, not everything. I'm just getting the sense that the reason why people can't readily identify this neurodivergence is because you have, what is the word that I just heard? What is the word? What is it? Gosh, I can't even, what is it? It's like oh my God. is amalgamate? Is that a word? I think I'm hearing amalgamate, and I don't even know if that's a word or not. And or even what that means. I mean, oh my gosh, you guys, I don't have my computer up to even look it up right now. So amalgamate. I'm not sure. I think that maybe what that means based on what I'm trying to say is like you maybe like kind of shift and change and quote unquote like mold yourself to be socially acceptable, because over your experiences you have had interactions where maybe you had people who react adversely to something that you said or did without ill intention, and it caught you off guard and you're kind of like, wow, whoa. What is happening? Like, what did I do? You know what I'm saying? And so because you've had so many of those interactions over your lifetime, you have learned. It's like you have, okay, I just heard assimilated. You have assimilated. So I keep noticing how this person has a mask, and I couldn't reconcile the energy that I'm picking up on. Let me show this to you guys closer. So this is, by the way, compassion, Minotaur. I don't know why I suddenly feel like I need to get quieter, like I'm close to you, but that's kind of what I'm trying to describe. It's like I couldn't pick up on the energy difference between this mask and then what's going on underneath this body. And then I'm not even going to get into that, because it's like there's this sadness. I think that people see you, there's like this sadness. How do I describe this? The words that were going to come out of my mouth is like, there's this sadness that masks you. But even saying that, it's like, I feel the need to explain that. It's like someone might think that is intentional, that you are this like sad kind of like, that you are intentionally portraying yourself to be this like sad kind of like, innocent. I cannot help but to be drawn by this person's eyes. It's like you're, ooh, God, I heard soul sucker. It's like this energy that people might assume that you kind of like are soul sucker. Like you just want to carry people in and like paint this image of like, oh my gosh, like poor me. That's the energy that I'm getting. And that, but the thing, and that it's like that you're hiding, that like you're using that to hide the truth of who you are. And the answer to that is yes and no. It's not as intentional as I think it's not as intentional as it's being received, where people may look at you with suspicion. Like, okay, I just heard, what is she hiding? What is he hiding? You know, so people may look at you with suspicion. So I'm being drawn to the number 17, which reduces in numerology to the number 8, which I connect it to, that's the number of self, but also like infinity. So what goes out, what goes around comes around, what goes out must come back in. But what I'm getting is like that mirroring effect. So it's like, if you look, oh my gosh, my earring right now is an infinity symbol. How crazy. I didn't even plan that. So if you look at this, hold on, let me do it this way so you can maybe see it. If you look at this infinity symbol, if you look at this side, it's like projecting out on that side, and then that side projects back. So if you think about like how we're mirrors to each other, whatever that person is projecting out, that's what you're showing them, and then vice versa. So the reason why I explain that is because it's like the people who see you as manipulative are people that are either manipulative themselves, and they feel like they need to, it's like they're the type of people that, like, okay, I just heard, I got to get it before I get got, like that. Like, I got to get it before I get got. You know what I'm saying? So they're looking intentionally for the flaw or the manipulation in you. And so because there's the disconnect between this, I'm going to say mask, and I'll explain that in a minute, versus like the truth of who you are, how you, like the face, both of it's almost like they can't see. They don't know. People don't know who you are, truly. They can't tell. You definitely are a person, people cannot read your emotions, or they can't read your expressions. So they just paint over their own projections onto you, because you're not, because, okay, so what I'm getting is that you have shapeshifter energy. Again, I'm hearing amalgamation. Gosh, now I feel like I need to look that up. I'll put an excerpt somewhere in here to say what amalgamation is, and maybe that will make sense as, when you're listening to this. But okay, so what I'm getting is that I heard amalgamation again. And so there's this energy that I'm also getting like really kind of like, oh, of course you have Scorpio down here, but I'm getting like really scorpionic sexual energy. Like there's this, I heard hidden bed pleasures. There's this like this darkness to you that is alluring, attractive. It's sexy. Like it's people find that. I think you arouse a lot of people effortlessly though. It's like this mystery, the mystery of who you are, because there's this mask, this sadness that leads. And let me explain that. So it's not that you're walking around sad. It's like there's this sense that you don't express the full spectrum of who you are, right? Like, and it actually may take a while to get to people. Like it may take a while for you to show that to people. I heard like 8 months, so I don't know if it's that specific, but it's like where someone might be comfortable sharing whatever facet of their self after like a month or something like that. Like you would be at 8. So take that and apply that however that is, however that fits. You know what I'm saying? However that resonates. But it's like there's something about you where it like, again, it's like not this typical way of interacting with people in relationships where, so it confuses people. You're a mystery. But there's something about that mystery. Okay, I'm being drawn to like look at these cards. So your energy, you have Pisces and Pisces. Having cosmic adventures and lucid dreams, they make you lose track of time. Exactly. Like, it's like, okay, let me read this other one. Reading each other's minds, Aquarius and Pisces. So you may or may not be any of these signs. Take it if it applies. If not, don't worry about it. It's the energy of the cards to describe like who you are in relationships. Reading each other's minds, they make mundane tasks feel magical. So there's this element that's like, it's like people get lost in you because it's so alluring. It's so sensual and sexual and dark. You know what it is? You represent to people their shadows, their darkness, the sides of their self that they're maybe afraid to explore. And you are that. You explore that. Like you're like, you embrace it, you exude it, you embody it. You are that. And there's something about like this sad kind of like innocent, compassionate mask that makes it less scary to, you know, because okay, so if you look at this picture again, imagine like what if we don't know what their faces look like underneath that. They could have bright red eyes, they could have sharp ass teeth like vampires. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and if you saw that, is that like, do you think that you would go running towards that? You know, what if they had no eyeballs whatsoever, or like, I don't know, something creepy underneath that mask? If you saw that, would you go running to that? You know what I mean? It's something about like, and this is not fake energy though. There's something about this like compassionate kind of, I keep saying sad, but it's not that you're like sad, boohoo crying, or that you're like, oh my God, I'm such a victim. It's just, there's this like, what I'm connecting this sadness to is the challenge of connecting to others. And I think that you may associate this challenge of connecting to others with this dark side of yourself, however that applies, whether that's like sexual, which I'm getting, whether that's in your non-traditional way, like ways, your non-traditional like ways of viewing. Okay, I heard relationships. So that, like, you might be a person, for example, that, you know, like it's common that once you get a certain age, you want to get married and you want to have the, you know, the house and the cars and the partner and the kids and the dog or the cat or whatever and the white picket fence. Da, 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 da. It's like there's that common trope. There's something about you that doesn't fit in that. Like it's not that you don't fit, like that you wouldn't be an appropriate fit for that, but you don't want to be in that category. Like this door is really standing out to me. Like you're it's like I just heard you break the mold. You are so mysterious to people. You are so mysterious. All right, let me look at these songs. You have Can I go where you go? Can we always be this close forever and ever? Take me out, take me home. You're my lover. There's definitely an intensity, a passion, a loyalty to you in relationships. And this is romantic relationships, but I'm just getting the energy that you are like a serious relationship type of person. Okay. On nights you text and text and text with no auto corrections. Oh, this is a great song. So sorry. This is Lover by T Swift, what I just read to you. Can I go where you go? Can we always be this close forever and ever? Take me out and take me home. You're my lover. That's Lover by Taylor Swift. Then you have this one, which says, on nights you text and text and text with no autocorrection, misspelling every other word, but I still get the message, and you get carried away like you're wearing wedding dresses. I'm sorry I even ever gave you reasons to question. This is London Bridge on the 2288 album with Janae Aiko and Big Sean. So that's a song or whatever. But anyways, I couldn't help but notice the mention of this song and how he's talking about you get carried away like you're wearing wedding dresses. And then in the background, here is this other person wearing wedding dresses. And it's like, I think that you are the type of person that so how do I describe this? You in relationships, if a person was like, no, I don't want to get married, I don't want that level of commitment, or whatever the situation is, you are the type of person that would make them consider that type of commitment, that would make them consider marriage. And you may or may not even want that yourself, but I'm just getting that it's like that specifically, the fact that you're not traditional in that way of like, I need to get married, I need to have kids, I need to have this specific kind of life, is like what pulls people into you even more. Do you know what I'm saying? Because there's freedom in that. There's freedom. This allows these people that I'm getting really romantic energy from here. So I'm going to say partners, but you know, however that feels, if it's not romantic, don't take it. But, so however the people that you're in a relationship with, what was I even just saying, Aaliyah? I was saying that, the people I don't know. I need to take a sip of my tea though, really quick, you guys. What I was saying is that the type of person you are in relationships, it allows, like, you are so free yourself, and so I heard again, you break the mold. You break the mold. Like, I almost just want to leave it at that. Like, you break the mold. I feel like you know what that means. If you are self-aware at all, you know what that means. And the specifics obviously are going to be different because this is a general reading and I have a whopping fucking 200 subscribers. Yay! Such a cheese. Anyway, sorry you guys. But if you're self-aware, you know who you are. So the specifics of what I was trying to say about breaking the mold, I mean, I can give some examples, but I feel like I'd be here forever going down that road. It's just essentially what it is that you represent freedom of self, like of your own self, your own personhood, which is super attractive to people because, again, you're a mirror to other people. So it shows people that the freedom that they can achieve too, that they can have in a relationship with you. Because this is like very, I'm surprised honestly you didn't get any Libra energy. This is very like fair and balanced, like Libra energy. You're also very, I just keep wanting to say alluring. You are also a person that is like, I don't know, you just represent limitless. That's what I heard. Limitless. I was going to say possible. You represent like limitless possibilities for people. And I'm just seeing the sky. I'm seeing cosmos. Like I'm seeing the sky and the stars. It's like limitless, like infinite possibilities, like for people. You definitely are a person. I just heard you are a person that, like ignites a self-discovery of other people, the people that you're in relationships with. And this can be, again, on any, whether this is like friendships, family dynamics, romantic. Oh my gosh, you guys, what is wrong with me? I just realized, I just heard Pretty Little Heart by Robin Thicke. Do you guys know that song? It goes, tell me, okay, hold on. Tell me that you, I'm trying to hear it. It's like, tell me that you need me. I think it's tell me that you'll try. Hold on. Because I feel like I'm hearing two different parts of the song. It's like, tell me that you need me. Tell me that you'll try. It's like, tell me that you need me. Tell me that you try. Tell me that you I'll leave you if you break my pretty little heart. I will. It's like that. So I think that like people tend to have like obsessive energy towards you because you are so rare. You're such an anomaly. Don't go get in a big head pile one, or do. You know, live your life. Don't let me tell you what to do or not do. Even lighting this candle, it just tapping into your energies feels so like mysterious and like dark. And I say spooky, but not in a frightening way. It's just like spooky, meaning like this is not, we don't talk about. That's why I felt like I needed to whisper. Because it's like this, like, we don't talk about this. Like, you have that kind of energy that's like, oh my God, if anyone ever knew. And that's exciting. That's exhilarating. You know what I mean? Take that however that applies. But I'm also getting like in the bedroom, you know, where you're like, you don't really care to follow what society says, like, oh, we shouldn't do that, or we shouldn't do that, or if we do this, then this label applies to us. And it's like, no, I'm everything and nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you deciding to confine me to a box says more about you than it does about me. But I'm here to show you how you can be free. That's your energy. Like, I'm here to show you freedom. And you don't have to broadcast this freedom, or you can, but that's the very essence of freedom. It's your choice. Do you know? That's who you are in relationships. That's what you represent. I just heard life changer. Like, I think that you change people's lives. And I want to say for the better. It may not always feel like that though, because, and maybe not even for you, to be honest with you, like you might be thinking like, okay, well, you might not feel like people feel this way about you. Because I'm not sure that people can even, this is the thing, you have such a level of awareness and such an ability to connect to energy that I don't think that a lot of the people that you interact with really are on your level in that way. That's not to say that's better or worse, it just is what it is. So I don't know that people can identify your energy and articulate it. And I just heard reverberate it, or did I hear regurgitate it? If that, maybe regurgitate it makes more sense, right? Regurgitate it back to you. The way that I am, because I mean, I work with energy, so you know what I'm saying? Like, I have more experience with that. Everybody doesn't. Most people don't. So, most people are not even aware of their own energy and how to identify when they're picking, like, when it's their energy that they're feeling, or when they're being inundated with other people's energy. I feel like I want to go off on a whole side tangent, and it's like, you have, like, that's the other thing, is like, hold on, Spirit's like, get the word right. What is it? Your level of awareness. Oh, okay. Like, your level of awareness and depth of knowledge when it comes to the dark, the shadows. You guys, I didn't tell you this. Sorry, your level of awareness when it comes to the dark and the depth, and your depth of knowledge when it comes to the shadows is, I I don't know. I don't remember what I was going to say, to be honest with you. I'm sorry, because I got so distracted by the fact that, like, I fucks with this energy. I forgot to tell you that this is a new deck. These are new decks. And so I saw this, and immediately, this was an immediate yes, you guys. If you know me personally, I don't know, maybe you do or don't know this about me, but this is called Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle. Hello. Like, this is a 100% yes for me. As soon as I saw this, I was like, abso-fucking-lutely, I'm getting this. Excuse my language. And that's your energy. Like, you're like, it's like you approach it with like, you explore it. It's like there's a level of fearlessness in exploring and the unknown, exploring the scary, the dark, the dangerous, that many people don't have. So again, it's like this thrill, this it's like fun time. Some people that interact with you may look at you as just that, like, oh my gosh, this is an exciting endeavor, but like, that's what I just heard. I could never, like, oh my gosh, it's so exciting, but like, oh my God, okay, I just heard, like, what if my mom finds out? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, you're like this taboo type of energy. So yeah, okay, I mean, God, I can go on and on. Like, I can live in your energy. This is me. This is my pile. I never pick beforehand, because otherwise that messes up how I read, because I'll start to get defensive or whatever. And then as it unfolds, I'm like, this is my pile. This is for sure my pile. But okay, so the energies that you have that work to your benefit in establishing, building, growing, nurturing your relationships, you have Scorpio, Black Panther, and Labradorite. There we go. You have very healing energy. You are super psychic. And a lot of the reason why your energy is so healing. Okay, hold on, let me slow down. Spirit's telling me to back up. Something about the psychic ability. You're very intuitive. Oh, okay, you're very intuitive. So when it comes to relating to people, okay. So when it comes to this is like a double. I'm getting okay, let me just explain it. When it comes to relating to people, you are very intuitive and you work off of energy, you know? So in a situation where, let's say someone is sad. This has happened to me in real life. That's why I'm giving you this example. You can pick up on the energy that someone's sad, right? It doesn't matter what, like, even if that person is coming out of their mouth like, yeah, everything's so great, like, whatever. Even many other people, they may see that response and be like, oh my gosh, that's wonderful, congratulations, whatever. But you see beyond that. And so you interact with people intuitively, which helps people. There's an essence about that where people feel very seen by you, and you have the compassion here. So like, accept it. That's not like sadness in your eyes. It's like there's a sadness. Oh, the sadness that's in your demeanor, in your eyes, is reflecting back to these people, each person, how they're disconnected from like their own shadows and darkness. Like they have suppressed and rejected certain sides of themselves. And it's like you seeing that, it's reflecting that sadness of like you're not connected to your truth, or you're rejecting parts of yourself, or you're not loving certain parts of yourself. Do you get does that make sense? I don't know that I did a very good job of explaining that. I hope it makes sense. So I think there's an element where people may feel like you are judging them. And you're not. It's like, it's just like, man, like for you, because you don't get to be this person and feel this connected with your shadows without first having to accept them. That's what people don't understand when they see this in your eyes. They see that, and oftentimes they may receive that as judgment, like you're judging them, or you're critical of them, or you have that perfectionist energy. That's why you're being seen that way. You are a mirror. You're reflecting back to people who they are. So it's like they're seeing the sadness in themselves, of this part of their self that they've left behind, but they're pasting that over you. and then they're saying like you are the problem, or you are the trigger, or you are the person that doesn't follow these social norms when it comes to relating to people. Because if I say that I'm happy and everybody else is responding in that way, why would you be the person that says something crazy like, no, what's going on? Like, I see that you're struggling with, or whatever it is. Like, it's like, why would you be the person to call me out? And the thing is, like, so that's that energy that I was explaining where people think it's facetious, it's intentional. But for you, that's the neurodivergence. That is your brain's literal process. So not even your brain, but your overall being. Like, when the energy comes in, it interacts with whatever that literal energy is, that true energy is. Do you get what I'm saying by that? Like, energy never lies. So if your words say I'm happy, but your energy is sad, you respond on an energetic level. Do you get what I mean? Which is like, I listen. Whew, the things I can say about that. I'm sure that's probably a challenge for you. You know, it's like I can see the benefits, and I don't know. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm getting like, I can see the benefits of that, but also I can see the struggles from both sides. So that's a benefit though. This energy, this psychic ability, this ability to read energy, this ability to tap into the depths and the darkness without fear, this ability to be intuitively led, and I just keep getting like cosmo energy, like stars, skies, nighttime, like the secrets of life, the secrets of a person, the secrets of yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like you live there, you love it there. You're unafraid. You are unafraid. And that is very healing to you and to other people. It's almost like, okay, so now I'm being drawn to this door where it's almost like this is you. This is the door. You've been through here. You know what I mean? You've traveled. And it's like someone approaches you and like they'll get this. But if they're not afraid, they can go a little further. You know what I'm saying? Depending on, it's like if you allow people to decide, like how far are you going to get, or how close are you going to get to going into that, behind that door and seeing what's in there. That's a metaphor. Do you know what I'm saying? For self. Oh my God, I'm just realizing that this literally says deep. Hot damn ho, here we go again. Hey. So anyways, that was a little Kim song reference, by the way. Now it's like it's playing in my head. I can't get it. It's like, is that significant? I feel like, because it's the real. With the World Cup, it's never over, never enough, because it's the real. I don't know. Like, I feel like you're real. Exactly that. Like, you are real. The way that you are real, and whether or not people receive you that way is, again, it's a reflection of their true self, whether or not they are being real. So if a person comes, that was weird. If a person comes, oh my gosh, you are such a freaking, you might represent, like, there is something about you that triggers such sexual energy in people too. It does not matter what your sexual orientation is, or even what the other person's sexual orientation is, because there's something about you that like taps in. Okay, oh my God, the references and visuals that I'm getting, you guys, right now are so sexual. So I was gonna say it's like a geyser, and then I got a vision of like a geyser that's squirting out, but that also came through, as you can imagine, hella sexual. So it's like even the most mundane things that people in their regular everyday life with other people wouldn't consider attractive or alluring or sexual or whatever, it's, you do that for people. Not you represent that. You are that. You do that for, what's the word I'm trying to say? Like, you do that for people. Like, why, how, how's that connected? It's like, this is like seeping off of you. Like, you just can't help it, pile one. You're like, what do you mean how, why? It just is what it is. You are absolutely right. It just is what it is. Like, you're like, this is not something you try to do. This is not something that can be mimicked. Why? because this is authentic. What does that mean? That means that even if someone were to match you or try to like imitate you, okay, I just heard a song. It's Eve. But anyway, there's a line in it that's like, you see, I do what I can't do. I just do me. That is you. No, I'm sorry. The line is, you see, I do what they can't do. I just do me. That's your energy. Like, nobody else can do me. You know what I'm saying? The same way that you can't be anyone else. That's your energy. It's so authentic. So even if someone were to connect with their own authentic energy, it may or may not look like this, but it's going to be authentic to them, and they'll have their own benefits, their own allures, their own attraction. They're connecting to their own magnetism that's in line with the truth of who they are, their soul. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, one isn't better or worse as far as like how it's expressed. It's both authentic energies, and there's a benefit in that in both situations. So, I don't know why I felt the need to say that. Okay, so the aspects of you that create friction, you have clear quartz, poppy, and Durga. I'm just getting this energy again. It's that quality of being this like mirror to other people. I just heard a catalyst. Suddenly, like I don't know why specifically it's my feet, but my feet are like cramping. Like any kind of bend, and it's like locking up. So I don't know if that's significant, but it's like, oh, okay. So it's almost like you stop people in their paths. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what's coming through is like, if you probably come you probably are a person that has a lot of relationships. Like you have a lot of people that come in and out of your life. Why? Basically, it's like because you have let me just get this right. So you stop people in their tracks. And show them clearly who they are. And where they have sacrificed their self for, it doesn't matter for what, just where they have, okay, hold on. I'm sorry, you guys. When I talk so choppy like this, is because Spirit is so intentional about what it is, how this message needs to come through in order for it to be received the most effective way for the highest good. You know what I'm saying? For you guys. And I honor that. However, I sometimes, again, it's like I described in one of the readings, it's like I get these puzzle pieces without a picture to look, and I have to kind of like piece it together. And that's what's happening. So, something about this poppy is really standing out. And I didn't like, if you've been here before, you know that a lot of my readings, even when I do incorporate tarot, they're very intuitive. This is kind of reminding me of the Two of Cups. Actually, in the Wild Unknown Tarot deck, it's reminding me of the Two of Cups energy. Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, you stop people in their tracks. Why? Because remember how I was saying, you know, people come to you and it's like you show them the parts of their self that they don't love. It's exactly that, because you embrace it. You show them that. So it's like for them, in their mind, they see that you obviously know, or you are obviously able to see these parts of them that they are struggling with, that they're trying to hide, right? But your energy comes in and you're like, you're loving, you still love it. Like you're still loving, I'm just getting such like mystical, spiritual energy where you're like, it's like all accepting, all knowing, all loving type energy. Right? Which then caused this person to kind of stop in their tracks and be like, well, why am I running from it? Like if this person, like, why don't I love it? You know, it's a whole journey. It's like you maybe an activator of sorts, a catalyst of sorts for people. That to help them to, okay, what is it then, Spirit? Sorry, you guys. There's something okay, hold on. Oh, okay. You definitely heal people. I think that a lot of people that you connect with, may have like some sort of sexual blockages or traumas. Something about the sacral chakra being blocked or overactive, even. There's a disconnect with these people from how they connect to or relate to or express their sexual desires, how they accept or reject sexual desires, preferences, whatever. Maybe like a want to explore, however that applies. It's like you bring that to people's attention. There's something about, okay, so because there's something about how you show people like you trigger this very like primal sexual urge in other people. And that just is what it is. That's not like good or bad. It's just that in doing that, these people are left to face whatever guilt or shame or rejection, the way that they've rejected that part of their self. And you're not like, it's not intentional. It's just your very nature. One, it's your very nature, but also it's a part of it is like the way that you are able to connect with your own desires. And I'm not getting that you are like out here just broadcasting it like it's on a billboard. It's just who you are. And people are not always going to see this side of you. It depends on, again, how much effort, like you're just standing there. You know what I'm saying? Let me pull this card up again. It's like you're just standing here and someone is going to come up to you and they're going to get this. And then it's like, however they choose to interact with this, like, are they going to decide like, I've had enough, I got to go, I'm out? Or are they going to continue to go to this? You know what I mean? Like, how far are they? It's their own choice. You're just there. And it's like, however you decide to, I feel like I'm not explaining this well. There is a depth to you that most people are afraid to explore. That also occurs in a sexual capacity. And because your very nature, just by being you, it like brings that out, that very primal sexual, like, I just keep seeing like, I don't know what type of animal this is, but just like a attack. I'm just seeing like an attack, like a lion attack or something. It's very like, it's like you ignite that in people. But something about the interaction, like it shows people, okay, how can I describe this? Because you are a mirror, like you show this part of a person to their self. The part of them that they've either rejected or tried to hide or whatever the situation is, it's like you show this to their self. And so in that's what creates the friction. That's what is the catalyst. That is what they in that they may project onto you. They may like, do you get what I'm saying? Like they might see you as the issue. Like if you weren't so sexual, or if you weren't so if you weren't so scorpionic or so mysterious, like that. And it's like, I'm just me. But also, beyond that, maybe you should take some time to, this is your energy. This is like your energy as a response to that type of interaction. It's like, it also, like, maybe you should take the time to see why you're having a hard time with that part of yourself. Like, are you rejecting it because that you were told that was unacceptable? Are you rejecting it because, why are you rejecting it? That's the question. If you're rejecting it because you were told it's unacceptable, maybe now is a good time to explore and decide for yourself whether you want to accept it or not, instead of letting somebody else decide. Or I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. So that was that for that part of the message. But okay, so to take that a step further, it's this idea of being like loving to the whole of a person, even the parts, even the sides of their self that society or whatever has deemed as like inappropriate or not acceptable or not lovable or whatever, through either their sexual experiences, through their experiences in general, through what has been told to them. How that's going to be different for each person, obviously. So yeah, you definitely have very deep transformative type of energy in your relationship. So it would not surprise me at all if you have it would not surprise me I'm sorry, you guys, something is coming in. Something about they make mundane tasks feel magical. Oh, that was coming through earlier. That I don't know if I actually said it or not, because, channeling. But there's something about your energy you may outright identify as like, I was going to say witchy, but magical. You may outright do things that are deemed as like magical, mysterious, you know what I mean? The occult, divination, tarot, fixed candles, working magic, whatever it is. You may outright have those types of practices and that type of connection with spirit. And so, okay, I don't know that. I keep hearing mysterious, mystic, mysterious. So there's something about you that's super mysterious that is, that I want to say, that seems like such an oxymoron to say. There's something about you that's so mysterious that's readily present in your relationships. Doesn't that seem like an oxymoron? But that's exactly it. It's like you there is an ever-present mystery about you. Okay, so I'm just getting the energy where it's like it's never ending. Like, no matter how much a person thinks they know you, or no matter how deep they think they've gotten with you, it's like there's always more. The way that the energy that came through with that is like like it's almost like, okay, this is what's coming, the spirit's giving me how to relate it to this. You know how there's a new series that comes on Netflix, whatever, and you're like, yes, I've been waiting for this series, like I have my whole date set up, blah 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 blah, I'm gonna sit and watch it with whatever. So you watch it and you binge it, and then you get to like the second to last or the last episode, and you're kind of like, oh my god, I don't want it to end. Like, what am I gonna do after this? It's like there's that feeling that people have with you, and they think that it's like coming to an end, but then it's like, boom, there's a whole nother depth. You know what I mean? So there's like this like this excitement, and like almost like, it's, how can I describe it? Because it's almost like, oh my god, this is never ending, but then it's also like, oh my god, this is never ending. Do you know what I mean? There's that there's that like wavering, wobbly type of energy that people feel towards you, pile one. So okay, I feel like this reading has been long enough. Honestly, the time is covered and I don't know how long it's been, but I love this energy. This is my energy. Full disclosure, I am 100% this person. So if you ever have felt or feel triggered by me, either like if you know me through YouTube and through a reading and the way that I say something, or I remember so let me just say that one, I have autism. So this neurodivergence applies to me. And if ever I say something that's abrupt or curt, I don't mean it harshly. I promise you I don't. And then also, if you feel like you experience a catalyst moment where maybe I express something through spirit, or through spirit expresses something through me to you, and it kind of like activates or triggers something within you, this catalyst moment, also, I'm sorry, and also you're welcome. But I hope you come back. And I hope you still love me. If you don't, it's all good. Again, I'm still going to send you love either way. This is the reading that I have for you, Pile One, and I super hope that you love it. I thank you so much for your interaction with the channel, your likes, your comments, the subscriptions, any tips that you guys have left. I am supremely grateful. Thank you so very much, and I hope to see you guys again in another video. Bye. All right, pile number 2. Your energy is feisty and I love it. It is so funny. It is so fun. It's like firecracker. I just heard hot pocket. What the heck? It's like firecracker. I don't know, hot pocket energy. I don't know what that means. Okay, so a couple things before I really get into it. I was hearing some stuff while I was shuffling. All right, first of all, what I heard when I pulled this card for you guys was, I came here to fuck shit up. Which, if you've ever seen Wedding Crashers, I'm pretty sure that's a line from Wedding Crashers. I'm pretty sure that's the movie that was coming through. The other thing is, a word that I heard when I was shuffling was effervescent. Effervescent. And I don't remember what that means, but I think as obviously, to me, I feel like it has something to do with like light. So maybe you're light, but I'm sure that I'll put an excerpt of what that means for you guys. The other thing, when I was like asking the question, I started to say spirit as I normally do, but with your pile specifically, I was getting ancestors. I was redirected to like your ancestors want it to be known that, to be clear. Okay, hold on. They're clear. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Your ancestors want to be recognized. Maybe I'm getting even by you. Oh, okay, hold on. This might be a side message, you guys, and I'm not, this energy is changing up a little bit. I'm not sure how well you might receive this, but there's a little bit of annoyance that's coming through. Something about spirit team. I don't know if you say spirit team or if you're just so general. There's a need for acknowledgement. Like okay. So the energy that's coming through is this. Honestly, what this is this is linking me to. I made a post earlier. This is the same kind of energy. I made a post earlier, well, the day that I'm recording it, but about a random channeled message that I got of a mother figure. Oh, I say, you know what I'm saying, of a mother figure that came through specifically for like a son, or maybe it was a father and a son combination, or maybe it was like an older man that's like being irresponsible or immature or something like that. Okay, so now what I'm seeing is like this woman is pinching or pulling this man's, I want to say kid, honestly. So I don't know if you're like in a juvenile state, or you're doing something that's very like immature or juvenile that you like know better than to, but she's like pulling his ear, like he's in trouble. And I just heard you know better. So you might be that pile. It's connecting me to that. Like, this mother figure is, they're just coming through like kind of, I don't know, kind of impatient. Like, okay, I just heard, okay. They're coming through kind of like they're sick of your shit, if I'm being honest with you. Something about, okay, let me make this a little more specific, because you're probably like, what are you talking about? So the message, if you didn't see it, was about a man who was either very immature, like irresponsible, or maybe there's like a father-son duo, or maybe this man has kids. I can't really, but the energy was generally like you're making decisions that are irresponsible. Okay, I just heard for your future. But that's the very thing. It's like you're making decisions that's irresponsible for your future, but you're following like maybe the guidance of this father figure, or you're just being very immature in the sense that you're looking for someone else, like in the physical world, which is understandable. We do that, you know what I mean? Maybe like a guardian or whatever, to make the decisions of how you should live instead of following your heart and following your guidance. And by guidance, I mean this mother figure that's coming from the spiritual realm to guide you, to connect you back to your heart and your desires and give you this abundant blessing. But you're not, I'm just so drawn to this goat and how it's like, I'm literally hearing this goat like making, it's like you're like the type of person, it's like, I don't want to hear it, like la 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 la, like that's your energy, or that's what they're showing me is your energy. So what I'm getting from that is like, you may have felt it literally in your energy, in your spirit, like an intuitive pull to do something, and then you talk yourself out of it, or you rely on logic, or you rely on this elder, or like there are signs, and you know what I mean, like that you might be receiving, but you're like no, it's, hold on, whew, oh my gosh, something just happened. It's like you're getting signs, but you're okay. You're doubting it. You're doubting it because it doesn't match logic. This is fear-based. This is like the fear of the unknown type energy. Oh, the other thing is, the reason why I'm saying this is because when I was shuffling, I also was getting energy from pile 1, and this card came out for pile 1 as well. And so there may be an element of pile 1, or that might mean something. I don't know. I don't know how you would feel connected, but if you feel drawn, definitely, check out whatever you feel you need to check out. So I feel like if there's, okay, so this is very specific. If this is not your pile, you would know this is not your pile. Please don't feel obligated to stay here. If you didn't feel drawn to any of the other piles in this particular reading, I would not be offended. There are definitely other videos that you can choose from and that I've already posted. And if not, you can stay tuned and I'll post some more in the future. And if you choose to just be done altogether, I thank you so much for being here. But this is not something that you would force. This is a very specific situation. And basically what I'm getting is that like your ancestors, this is your relationship with your ancestors. Not only is it your relationship with your ancestors, but your ancestors are guiding you to pile 1 because there's a specific relationship interaction where it's like pile that connects you to pile 1. What does that mean? You may resonate. So this is about like who you are in the relationships, and a lot of what was coming through was like the truth of who you are, but also how people see you. And so you may find yourself in pile 1 in the sense of how you see this particular person, right? You'll know who that is. That's going to apply however that applies. This Gemini and Scorpio keeps coming through so heavy, but especially Gemini. So something about like, okay, let me slow down a little bit. this is giving me Gemini energy. And what I mean by that is like Geminis are fucking jokesters. Like they don't ever want to take anything serious. Not only do they not ever want to take anything serious, but like they have a very hard time with accountability. And they are the type of energy that's kind of like, a lot just came through. I heard confined, and then I also heard caged in a box, and then I also heard barn happy horse at the same time that I saw a horse like bucking its back legs, just kind of, you know what I'm saying? That's this person's energy where this is your energy where there's like a confinement that you feel, and maybe in relationships, maybe in life in general. And it's like, oh my gosh, I just heard, like they take things too serious. I feel like the people that you're around, like maybe there's an element of you not wanting to be serious. You just want to keep things like light and jovial and playful and upbeat, and like anything that gets too serious or anything that's like that shows you, oh my gosh, I just heard where you're fucking up, or shows you how you're neglecting yourself. Like you're like this goat that's just like meh, meh, meh. Like you would be the type of person that if I was like sat you down and I was like, okay, pile 2, it's time, your response would be to cut me off like meh, meh, meh. Like I'm not hearing you. That was probably so annoying, you guys. I'm so sorry if that was really loud, but that's how your energy is coming through. If it's like something that you don't want to acknowledge or deal with, it's like you want to turn your head away. Let me show you this card up close. It's like you want to turn your head away and pretend like it doesn't exist, right? So this is Puka. It says mischief, and then dangerous here at the, oh, sorry. It's on the screen. Dangerous right there at the top. Number 44. That might be significant for you. Oh my gosh. And then 44, when you reduce it, it is 8. 8 was also the number of the top of the card for pile 1, which again was like that whole mirroring energy. This pile is absolutely connected to pile 1. So don't let me tell you what to do. If you didn't feel called to, or if I'm me telling you this now, you still don't feel called to, don't force it. But I really would like to encourage you to go and look at pile 1, because there's a message for you there. So this is coming through. Let's describe who you are in relationships. I feel like there's something else that I'm forgetting that I was going to say about like when I shuffled and the intro. Oh, so yeah, the confinement. Like you strike, so your energy is coming through as like okay, I just heard rebel without a cause. Okay, so what I'm seeing now is it's like there are other ways. This is the energy that the mother figure I think was trying to relate. It's like there are other ways to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish without being a child about it. If that was offensive or triggering, then I would like to invite you to, I don't know, explore why that might be triggering for you, the fact that I said that. And if there's any truth in that, and if you want to accept it or reject it, and how you want to continue forward on that path. But that's your choice. That's just an invitation. So what I was getting is like the vision that Spirit gave me, or excuse me, that your ancestors gave me. I'm getting this mother figure, but basically I saw this article, and it was, so I'm seeing a horse. I'm seeing the actual article in my third eye. And it's a horse that's laying sideways. And the title of the article was something, or the article was basically about like a horse that was at like a stable or something, a ranch, whatever. And there were other horses there, and people can come and like ride the horses. You know, you pay, and then they walk like the horse around. You can have like a horseback ride or whatever. This particular horse, anytime someone would come to get on it, would like fall to the ground and just lay on the ground and not do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your energy. It's like, I don't know if this is the best example, because a horse can't clearly say like, no, I don't want to be ridden. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, that's your energy, where in situations where there can be another solution, you can clearly communicate. I think that's why Gemini energy is coming through. It's like you can clearly communicate or talk this through. If you need more understanding, you can ask. If you like, it's like whatever is is so childish. I heard rebellious. It's so rebellious. It's so childish where it's like, okay, I heard my way or the highway. That's your energy. Like, and when you can't have it your way, like, you're just gonna, like, be this horse who just falls on the ground anytime someone wants to, like, this is not new for you. This horse analogy. It's like you obviously have experienced people riding on your back as this horse, and that's probably how you got to the point of being like, I don't want to do this. So instead of saying, I don't want to do this, or instead of leaving the barn, or instead of whatever other option there is, you just, like, I heard dramatic antics. Like, you just, like, fall over on the ground and you're like, oh my God, I'm hurt, I'm dead, I can't. Like, that's your energy. That's who you are in relationships. So you may not be a very accountable person. You may be a little bit selfish. 8 connects me. That's, for me, is like the number of self, but also this is the number of duality for me. It's the number of self. It's a number of balance, because 8 breaks down like here, 4 and 4, and 4 and 4. It's balance. You know what I mean? Not only that, but it's like duality. So for me, it's like where was I going with that? I was saying 8 connects me to the number of self, right? But it's one number, whereas 4 and 4 is balance, and it still equals 8, but it's 2 numbers. It's the duality. It's the give and take. It's the receptive and the, what's the opposite of receptive? You get what I'm saying. I'm just getting that you're in very 8 energy, very self energy. So in relationships, you could be a little bit selfish, where, like, you just want what you want. You might go with the flow for a little bit and just kind of, like, see how it goes. But if something is rubbing you the wrong way, I'm getting, like, friction energy. If something is rubbing you the wrong way, instead of saying, like, hey, this is rubbing me the wrong way, and then working to a solution that would be beneficial to both parties, you're either this goat that's like, bah, bah, or you are the horse that falls over and is like, I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you're seen in relationships. Okay, so let's see what songs you have. You have Ain't No Mountain High, Ain't No Valley Low, Ain't No River Wide Enough to Keep Me From Getting to You, Babe. This actually is, normally I get, like, very sweet sentimental energy from this, but this is giving me, like, okay, well, I just heard, like, creep. It's very, like, aggressive. It's feeling very aggressive, like, oh my God, the way that I just so the vision that I just got was somebody, like, you know how someone, like, bucks up at you like that, where they take their fist and they do that and they kind of push their chest out. Like, I saw someone doing that at the same time that I heard Ain't No River Wide Enough to Keep Me From Getting to You, but the voice that I heard, it was like I'm just gonna say it, but it was very aggressive, like, deep, like, you're not getting away, you know, type of thing. Okay, let me read this one. So you also have, I don't know if I read these already, but Gemini and Scorpio bickering about which movie they should go see. When they're together, you can't help but stare. This I'm getting, like, this is, oh, so from this one, it's like that you can't help but to stare, because it's just so, like, you're like, oh my God, it's so, okay, hold on. It's like mesmerizing. It's so mesmerizing. It's so spicy and passionate. And it's just so, like, it's real. That's what it feels like. Where it's like, it's not that, like, oh my gosh, they're so cute and they're so mushy and they kiss all the time and they hold hands and they're so perfect and they never have any issues. It's not that. That's not real. And it's not like, oh my God, that's a toxic ass couple. Why the fuck are they, like, oops, sorry. It's not like that's a toxic couple, like, why that they shouldn't. It's not like that. It's real. It's kind of like you guys would be bickering about which movie that you guys should go see, and it's like you can see the love in that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not so big that or you're not so disconnected from yourselves and from each other that that would be a whole thing where it's like, oh my God, well, because you didn't want to go see the movie that I wanted to go see, like, whatever. Although that might be your energy. I don't mean to laugh. Because anyways, it doesn't matter. So that's what I'm getting. Okay, and then also you have Gemini and Gemini. You also are probably a very fast talker. Oh, okay. I heard smooth talker, and also what I'm getting from that is, like, you can talk yourself out of situations, or maybe, like, you talk so fast that it's like you, I don't know if this is intentional or not, but it's like you talk so fast that people can't generally keep up with what you're saying. So if you do say something contradictory, or you do say something that's like BS, that you're just kind of pulling out of your rear. Like, if someone doesn't have the mental capacity to keep up, it would go over their head and it would be unchecked in you. Do you know what I'm saying? And you just, it's like you're, okay. So you also have Gemini and Gemini, the ever-changing beings, debating each other with wit and pizzazz. Exactly. That's your energy. Like, you like that. You like that. That was the other thing that was coming through whenever I was shuffling, was like the energy of like power play. Not in a facetious way, but like literally like power play. Did I finish reading this? Okay, so sorry. The reason why I stopped is because I was going to say something and then blah, blah, blah. So let me take it down. I know I'm talking so fast, so let me just take a deep breath real quick. And also, excuse me, please. I'm going to drink some tea. My gosh. Pile 2, you are definitely a fast talker. You have a fast moving mind. Like, you are so, I just heard mentally agile. And I think that it's easy for you to kind of, I just heard manipulate people, because a lot of the people that you interact with are not mentally agile or as mentally agile as you. So I just heard, like, why even try? It's like you don't even have to put in an effort to like get someone turned around in conversation. Do you know what I mean? For you, okay, so what I'm getting is like, it actually may require more effort to not get someone turned around. Like, it may actually require more effort to have a conversation with someone in a way that they can keep up. And for you, that feels stifling. This is taking me back to that barn happy, that stifling energy, that barn happy, the confined in a box. It's like, it feels confining because it's like, I have to significantly like reduce myself. I heard mental capacity in order to engage with these energies in a relationship. So, okay. So, all right. So what I'm getting is like, so this like juvenile energy of like getting people turned around. It's like, you do that for fun. You do that for fun. Why? Because you are a sick, twisted individual, pile 2. I'm just kidding. I'm obviously sick and twisted too, because this is kind of funny to me. Why is it funny? Because it's like, it's this goat energy, this mischief, this puka. Like, you're like, I'm bored, so let me just talk and spin circles around this person and see how they react. And when they start getting dizzy and fall over, like, you find it so funny and you laugh. Do you know what I mean? Not only that, but there's a part of you that in your energy, you feel like powerful. Okay, I just heard dominant. It's like you feel powerful, like dominant in that situation. Like, it's like if this is a thing that you would do, if ever you were feeling insecure, or if ever you needed to, either in a relationship, in a conversation, or just in general, if ever you needed to like have an ego stroke, like, you would be the type of person that's like, let me call somebody and talk circles around them and see how they respond, and then like remind myself who the fuck I am, and then laugh at it. You know what I mean? Pile 2, you are so sick. Please don't be offended by that. I think that it's funny, but no, I might be sick too. Reference Pile 1 if you want to know about me. So that is, did I read this one? Okay, you also have Cupid Doesn't Lie. Well, hold on a second, Pile 2. I am so winded talking. Yeah. I was going to say tapping into your energy, but talking, like connecting to your energy, talking as much as I am and as fast as I am. You're definitely a person that likes to talk. Maybe about yourself, maybe just in general. Like, you like to hear yourself talk, and you like when other people hear you talk. And especially you like when people give you feedback about what you're saying. Like, oh my God, you're so great. You're so great. You know what I mean? And you're like, huh, yeah, I know. So, okay, you have Cupid doesn't lie, but you won't know unless you give it a try. Oh, baby, true love doesn't lie, but we won't know unless we give it a try. This is Cupid by 112. Okay, so I'm seeing like the actual baby Cupid pulling his arrow back, but emphasis on the fact that Cupid is a baby. Like, it's giving me this juvenile energy. It's like, what is that, Spirit? Help me out. Why? I don't know why for your pile, like, I feel for your, pile, right? For your pile, I feel so drawn to this deck. And I feel like I didn't pull the card for any other deck, but fuck it. Let's see what comes out. I just heard wise old owl. Oh. Oh my gosh, I'm getting in trouble, you guys. Okay, your ancestors, my bad. I'm getting in trouble. What do I mean by that? I mean that, okay, so I have it separated here, like what qualities benefit you in establishing, like in your relationships, and then what qualities create like friction in your relationships. And so the way that I am interacting with your energy and how it's like I'm enabling it. But that is actually a quality of, not a quality, sorry, that is actually an aspect of your character that creates the friction. It's like this competitive, oh my gosh, I just realized that you had the arrow here, which is, I know this isn't Cupid, but like, I literally okay, it doesn't matter. I don't look at I know these cards are all laid out for you guys, but I'm not looking at all of these cards all the time. It's like energy. The energy takes me where it takes me. So I did not see this. Actually, you should probably pay attention to what cards you actually have down there. So side note, sorry. Okay. I'm getting distracted. That's your energy. You see that? You see that? That's your energy. Like you want to evade any type of, that did not I say this in the beginning, where you have this energy that's like, if you need to be accountable for something or like, you know, whatever, like you'll just kind of like, just, it's like you'll be the person that's like, meh. You know what I mean? So now here I am, like so distracted by like, oh my God, Cupid, whatever. And not to say, I'll get back to that, but that's exactly it. That's what your ancestors are bringing your attention to, right? Wow, that was a full on display. So if you're ever unsure, that was the example. The way that interacted, you might want to go back and re-listen from the beginning now that you know what you're looking for. By beginning, I mean this reading. You don't have to. But that's what your ancestors are trying to bring your attention to. This way that you interact, where there's like a lack of accountability, and it's very childish of like, no, like it's I'm just getting like, I'm not gonna say it, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna apologize, it wasn't my fault, I'm not gonna do that. Well, if like, you know what I'm saying, it's like no accountability. Not only is there no accountability, but because you have this quick-witted, fast-talking energy, like you can easily, you're charming, you're hella fucking charming, you can easily distract someone from why they're mad, because you don't want to be accountable for yourself. Maybe because you're insecure. And I'm getting like very competitive energy. So it's like, okay, let's bring this full circle because I just got it. So let's say you're in a relationship with someone. Something happens. And you do something, I don't know, childish, and then that person brings it to your attention, or whatever it is. You do something and this person brings this to attention that's less than acceptable, less than pleasant, and this person brings it to your attention, and they're like, hey, you did this thing, I don't like it. Instead of you having the conversation about it, you're the goat and you're like, meh. Like, I don't want to do that. Not only do you not want to do that and not be accountable, but now your ego has been hit. So your way of handling that is to do this fast talk around type energy that confuses this person, and then you sprinkle in the charm. So this person's like, oh my gosh, you're so funny. Like, you're so silly. You're so whatever. And they kind of forget why they're even mad. Not only that, but your ability to do that, then it solidifies this ego identity that you have. It's this ego identity that you have. And it's creating friction. It's not serving you. It's very competitive. It's not real. And not only that, but what I'm getting is that it's keeping you from seeing all of the other great things about yourself, because you're focusing so much on like this one, okay, I just heard party trick, like this one party trick that you can do. And you've built up your confidence on this singular, facet of your ego. And so your ancestors are coming through to say, like, you can't even, you haven't even tapped into the greatest parts of you, because you're holding on so tightly to this thing that you do. And this like fast talking energy, you're running away from yourself. You are running away from yourself. Okay. I just had like levels of realization, and that's why the different inflections, that's why there was variation in the inflections. So the different levels, it's like you're running away from yourself. That's that lack of accountability. You're running away from yourself which is, well, shit, now I lost it. Like, you're running away from yourself, which is a lack of accountability. You're running away from yourself, which is this, honestly, I forget what the second one is because I'm being so heavily drawn to also how this connects to pile one, where there is a message in pile one about pile one attracts the type of people who run from their self to show them and help them love and accept who they are completely. So something about the way, again, this is a very specific situation with a specific person. And by specific person, I mean pile one. So something happened between you and pile one, and you responded in this energy that I described as a defense mechanism. And then, but your ancestors, so you're not acknowledging. You're still just like with your eyes closed, head turned, making noises, not trying to hear, see, look at, be accountable for anything. It's like you're trying to pretend like it doesn't. It's like you want to be blind. It's like you're blinding yourself. You want to be blinded. You have your blindfolds on. That's the word. Because you don't want to see. Why don't you want to see? I was going somewhere with that. See, because this is what's I'm going to be honest with you. Your energy is it is like knocking me. It is trying to distract. Let me be clear, pile two. You are so good. You are effing phenomenal at what you do. This mechanism, it's fucking phenomenal. And what I was saying. Anybody that's not mentally sharp or mentally savvy can get thrown off. Not only that, but it's easy for someone who's inauthentic to get thrown off, because if they're not being authentic to their self and they're responding to you in a way that like society says or whatever, something that they don't believe, it's going to be hard for them to keep up with anyway, because it conflicts. It's conflicting. Well, it could be. Okay, so there's that. But let me bring that back, because you're not going to run circles around me. Pile number 2. So you have a really hard time like acknowledging these areas of yourself that like holds insecurities, this dark energy, which we talk about in pile one, right? So in this situation with pile one, there was something that happened and you don't want to acknowledge it, but your ancestors are coming through to say that's only holding you back, because this defense mechanism that you have, as a result of you being insecure, and so you need this ego, this inflated ego. Sorry, hold on a second. Spirit's saying something. This defense mechanism that you have, it protects. It's like you need this inflated ego. It protects this area of yourself that one creates friction in your relationships, but two, that it's a part of you it's the dark sides of yourself. It's the aspects of yourself that you don't want to see or look like, you don't want to see, you don't want to interact with for whatever reason. And that may potentially be fear-based. Either way, your angels are saying that, I was corrected, your ancestors, again, specifically this mother figure, is saying that, okay, so I just heard this was intentional. It was designed this way, because that pile one person, if you would get out of your own way, that pile one person okay. So your mother, this mother figure, is trying to guide you to get past this, because it's protecting this insecurity. And as long as you protect this insecurity, it will always remain. And if it always remains, it's always going to create friction. It's always going to get you in situations where you have these types of relationships, and it's always going to perpetuate this default response. So maybe it's a default response. yeah, this default response of not being accountable, and automatically anytime someone says something to you in conversation that could be deemed as like you're doing something wrong, you automatically don't want to hear it. That's a wound. This person has the depth and this person, meaning pile one, has the depth and the ability to heal this wound, but you won't. That's what this is. Yes, but it's like, but you won't know unless you give it a try. Oh, God. Shout out one time to this ancestor of yours, because holy hell, the way, oh my God, that was incredible. That was freaking incredible. That is your reading, pile two. That's your reading. I did not expect it to unfold that way. Oh my God. See, and for me, I'm feeling like, yo, if I was not as mentally agile as I am, and I wasn't aware of my own energy, my own thoughts, my own authenticity, I would have been turned around. And there were a couple moments in this reading where I was kind of like, what was I saying? Okay, hold on. Let me just regroup and let me backtrack. You know what I'm saying? I was able to restabilize. The way that I just did that, that's the energy of pile number one. And so, if I can be, no, all right. Yeah, sister said no, don't say it, and I respect it. So anyways, that's your reading, pile two. This feels like a reading where now that you know, like, the end result, it's like one of those, I don't know, it's like now that you know the overall tone of the message and the message that's trying to be delivered, maybe go back to the beginning and re-listen. Why? Because this was like a puzzle piece where it's like, it's not in order. You know what I mean? Like, it's reminding me of like one of those books where you read something and then it's like, if you want this result, you skip to this page. And if you want this result, you skip to here, or games or whatever it is. It's kind of like that, where it sort of like bounces you around because that's your energy. Let's be real. Can we be real for a minute? We are friends here, right? All right. You know, I'm just sharing. I'm just giving you some truths. So yeah, so that's your energy. So because it's kind of all over the place, so you might want to go back and re-listen from the beginning now that you know what you're listening for, and listen to how this message unfolded. See if you can identify your own energy through this channeling. If you want to, no pressure either way. But that's what I have for you, pile two. So that was a freaking doozy. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest, you took me on a little bit of a ride. So thank you for strengthening my mental agility. I super appreciate you contributing your energy and coming to this reading. I do sincerely hope that you come back, because I had fun interacting. I can relate to you in that element of that mental agility, and you know, the way that you what am I trying to say? I can relate to that. Maybe being limited in how you feel you connect to people because your ability to maintain such mental agility. So this was fun. This was like a nice little obstacle course for me. Anyways, I'm talking for ages. Definitely tapping into your energy. It's like nonstop. So pile two, thank you so much for coming. I hope that you come back. I really enjoy your energy, sincerely. I appreciate if you would like, comment, and subscribe, interact anyway. No pressure either way. I sincerely appreciate you being here. And if you choose to or don't, you can look in the comments below, and there are options if you wanted to contribute to this channel, to this reading in other ways other than offering your energy. There are options there listed below, and like the tips and donations. So thank you so much, pile two. Have a great day. Bye. So pile three, a couple things. When I was shuffling, my energy, golly, it was a turn. And it kind of got a little bit like heavy and dark, and I kept hearing this part from a Nicki Minaj song. Maybe it's called Monster. I can't remember. But anyway, it's the part when it's like, I'm a mother monster. Do you know that part? What is that? What is that? Something about Roman. Like, was that one of her alter egos, Roman, or was that a part of something like that? Anyways, but yeah, I kept hearing that. And it just kept replaying over and over, and my energy started to get like frustrated and irritated and pissed and kind of like reactive is what I got, honestly. And it felt like maybe that's what you experience, like you might be kind of like negative to yourself. Like, I think that who you are in a relationship, that's what we're asking. Like, I think that you are kind of mean to yourself. I think you're kind of mean to yourself in relationships. And this is, I'm not so like, take this how this applies, but I'm just getting the energy that you compare yourself to other people a lot in any type of relationship, whether it's like, again, platonic, family, familial, or like romantic relationship. There's like this comparison, and when you don't compare, like, you're really mean to yourself. So okay, let's see, this song is standing out to me. You have this is I Will Follow You Into the Dark by Death Cab for Cutie. It says, in Catholic school, as vicious as Roman rule, I got my knuckles bruised by a lady in black, and I held my tongue as she told me, son, fear is the heart of love, so I never went back. I'm getting this energy, okay, let me keep going. You also have Cancer and Virgo, and then you have Aquarius and Pisces. You can be these signs or not. It doesn't matter. It's the energy of the card. So who are they? Telepathic healers. Where you'll find them, turning their intentions into reality. What you'll remember, they nourish each other yet thrive when they give each other space. You have this card, which is Cycles, and it says, oh, can you see that? Sorry. Cycles. And it says Midgard Serpent, Jormungandr or something. And then there's a word here at the top. I don't know if you can see that. Oh my gosh, dangerous. You know what's so wild? I was actually saying, I felt whenever I was shuffling that this was connecting me to pile 2. Something else, I forget what happened. Oh, this was in pile 2 also. Lakshmi, and the word up here was dangerous for pile 2 as well. So you may or may not be drawn to that, and feel free to look at it or not. Okay, so I'm just getting, it's like, you might, okay, the other thing that was coming through is that you might, I feel the need to say, like, I'm not qualified. I don't have any type of credentials that allow me to tell somebody, that they have any type of disorders or not. The energy that I was feeling in this was very bipolar. So you may or may not identify or be diagnosed by that. But what I mean is that it was like very erratic in the change of like, okay, I'm hearing manic and depressive. So it's like very back and forth between like being fine and then being like depressive, but also like reactive. I'm just getting like kind of very like reactive energy. This is like, I want to say it's not, so I'm just noticing like the Cancer and the Tiger's Eye, and Cancer is very like nurturing, loving, home, protective of their self and their family members, and it's like that's your energy too. But then you also have the Tiger's Eye, which is a very fiery type of energy. It's okay, reactive. It's like this, it's fire. It ignites. It's when it gets stuff done. It gets things going. It gets things moving. It's like fierce, assertive, aggressive. That's the energy of Tiger's Eye. It can also be very grounding. So it's like there's this like back and forth energy. Like people are, this is who you are in a relationship. It's how people are seeing you. Like I heard inconsistent. Like they can't reconcile. Like on one hand, there's like this spiritual element about you that's so soft and nurturing and seemingly transformative. And then on the other hand, it's like this like very flashy energy, and it's like, is that even real? It doesn't feel authentic. Like it feels like it's for show. I just heard like it's like you're hiding a part of yourself, or like you're hiding parts of yourself. You're trying to hide parts of yourself with this like glitzy type of presentation. By glitzy, I just mean like you might be a person that maybe you put a lot of effort into having like name brand stuff, the most expensive, whatever, making sure like your hair is done, your nails are done, male or female, doesn't matter. Whether you have like fresh clothes on, it's like the newest or the most expensive, or you have this nicest bag or this whatever, like this show, or like, or on the other hand, you could also be a type of person that like shields or hides this part of yourself with like titles and accolades and being a part of like clubs and members. And it's like, because you feel so rejected like within yourself, you can't accept yourself. And so because you can't accept yourself, it's like I need to broadcast all of these, like how in the other ways that I'm being accepted, or the other ways that I'm acceptable. It's like, well, if I belong to all of these memberships, then obviously I'm being accepted. You know what I mean? It's like, well, if all these memberships can accept me, then obviously I'm accepted. And it's like, who cares? It has nothing to do with the external. You are not accepting your true self. You know what I mean? I just heard facade. It's a fake. It's facade. It's like a cover up. Okay, so this card you have, not yet, but okay, Spirit saying not yet. I didn't read it yet. I know you're probably like, it's right there, but okay, this one. It makes a cat nervous, the thought of settling down, especially me. I was creeping all over town. I thought my tender touch could lock you down. I knew I had you, as cocky as it sounds. It's better when you're angry. Come here, I'll prove it now. This is LL Cool J. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word. If I'm not, sorry. But this is LL Cool J and J-Lo. It's called All I Have. So this is... okay, so this song is, let me just describe what this song is, because I'm not really getting the energy to connect it yet. But this song is about like a man and a woman. They were in a relationship, and he was cocky. He was like, I got her. So he wasn't putting forth the effort, putting in the work, doing anything to contribute to the relationship. So she was constantly having to make up for where he fell behind. And there was like an air of entitlement, like she's always going to be around, you know what I mean? And so she finally was like, I'm leaving, I'm out, son. You know what I mean? I'm on my own. And there's this part where she's like, so without me, you'll be fine, right? And it's so wild, because when I hear that, I always feel like there's a part of her that's like, wants him to say like, no, I need you. Like, I'll let's work this out. Like, let's have the conversation. I feel like there's always a part of her that's like, it's like this, like saying like, yeah, you'll be fine without me, right? But she doesn't really want to hear that he's gonna say, yeah, I'll be fine, I don't need you. Like, that would be more damning to her than for him. Do you get what I'm saying? Every time I hear that part of the line, like, that's what I think of. Anyways, so that's what the song is about. So he's like saying all these things like, no, it makes me nervous settling down. She's like, no, I'm out. Like, this is the experience. We've had this, you had this opportunity. Like, I've talked to you about this. And it's like he has something to say for each of it. And then even in that, he still tries to like smooth talk his way out of it, where it's like, yeah, that happened because of this. But, you like this D. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, even in this line, it's like, I thought my tender touch could lock you down. I knew I had you, as cocky as it sounds. Which that does sound cocky, right? And instead of him being like, yeah, that's kind of ridiculous the way that I said that, like as if you are a possession. My bad, I need to work on it. His follow-up is like, yeah, but it's better when you're angry. Come here, let me show you. Like, what? That's hella fucking dismissive. Right? This is how people are seeing you. So, people will see you, well, or at least, okay, so this is who you, not this is how, sorry. Let me back up. Spirit's like hardcore bringing my attention. I'm sorry, you guys, hold on a second. Like, I have no idea I have never in my life gotten a cramp in my rib, in my freaking rib cage. That's what's happening right now. Like, what the heck? Ooh, on my left side, no less. Ooh, which I know is like, somebody, if you can relate that to some sort of symbolism, like, can you put that in the comments? Ooh, wait. Anyways, I don't know what that was about. I'm sure that will probably make sense in a minute. So, okay. I'm sorry, the energy is changing. So give me a second, you guys. If you've been here before, you know how this goes. Suddenly I feel kind of sad, and like my heart is, oh, how do I describe? It's almost like it's like beating out of rhythm, or like how do I describe this? Like maybe it's like beating too fast or something. So I'm sorry if I said something that was harsh or hurtful, pile 3. That's not my intention. I'm just getting such sad energy, like crying energy. Is this a recent realization that you had about yourself? Or is this a realization that you're struggling to come to terms with? I'm just getting like bipolar again. So I don't know if you've like recently learned you're bipolar, or maybe you have suspicions that you're bipolar, or maybe people have told you that you're bipolar and that's a trigger. Also, I think maybe something about like this, what I was saying about like this glitz and this facade, this way of like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, pile 3. I think that I really tapped on like a trigger. And I'm apologizing because I don't when I'm channeling you guys, I'm out of myself. I'm a channel. So I'm not connected with, how do I explain this? If I was talking to you as my friend, I would have been more delicate and more sensitive and offered more empathy. I think that I just like allowed it to kind of blurt out. And oh my gosh. So anyways, I don't want to keep on like rubbing salt in the wound. I apologize. I want to be clear though, I'm not judging you. I don't even feel like spirit is either. So I don't know if you've known this, if you're new or not, but my intentions in these readings are always for self-awareness, for some sort of clarity, for some sort of healing, to eventually connect you and lead you to self-realization. Why? So that you can be in aligned with your true self, which will then allow you and help you to magnetize your heart's desires. Why? Because in order for us to be able to magnetize what we want, our desires, there has to be no blockages in the way. Otherwise, it quite literally can block it, or it can delay the process. So how do we prevent that? Well, we have to recognize what those blockages are and then take action towards healing. How do we do that? By achieving a level of self-awareness. So that's the intention of these spreads. Any of my readings. So even like you're correct, as much what, it doesn't matter how mundane or not the readings may be, it's always with the intention that you are able to kind of look at yourself in comparison to how spirit is articulating the situation, and see if and what it is about yourself that you want to or may need to make adjustments to align you with what you want. The divine is always working. Spirits, angels, guides, even the people, even in the relationships that you have. You don't meet people, nothing happens by accident. You don't meet people by accident. Why am I explaining this? I'm not trying to talk at you, and if you feel that way, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to depict that this is specific, this is intentional for your pile, because I think that there might be some self-truths that you could potentially be struggling with, you're having a hard time seeing. I'm being drawn to dangerous, and like at this point, it's getting kind of dangerous. Why dangerous? Dangerous in the sense that like there's you're okay. Sorry, hold on. Let me be clear. Dangerous in the sense that okay. So the vision that I'm getting is like there's two paths, a right path and a left path, and one is quite literally the quote unquote right path. But let me just be clear when I say that any path that you choose is the right path because it's ultimately going to lead you to what your true path is. So when I say right path, I guess I'll say like there's your true path and then there's the path of lessons. And it's like you keep on traveling down these paths of lessons, but you're not taking the lessons. It's like you're experiencing it, but it's quite, so now what I'm seeing is like a straw. It's like you're the straw and the water is passing through it, but it's not retaining anything. And that's how you're engaging with these experiences that you have, these relationships, where you're not recognizing how you're showing up or who you are and making changes to benefit the relationship, to give. Okay, so it's like you no disrespect, pile 3, but like you're LL Cool J in this song, where you're like, yeah, I know I got it or whatever. And that doesn't necessarily even have to, it's just, that's your approach in general, like where you don't feel like you need to put in the work. You know, like I think that there's this entitlement, this expectation that it's going to come to you. And then it's like, you think you can kind of like talk your way around it. Or like smoothly, like, oh, let me just say the things that I'm supposed to say in order to, so I don't have to sit in this discomfort. The discomfort being you taking a look at yourself. And that's what's creating the friction. That's what's creating the friction in the relationships. The aspects of you that are beneficial and does lend itself to these relationships is this nurturing energy. It's the moments when you do connect with your authentic self. I'm getting a lot of like earthy, nature-y, like, I'm getting honestly like health. I'm getting like health. Like, it's okay. So there might be an element where you might want to research how your energy responds to various foods. And how your mood responds when you consume various foods. Okay, so I'm hearing just like what you consume in general. So that could also be like if you partake in any additional substances. That could be as mundane as like soda, you guys. Or like if you smoke weed or take, I don't know, I just heard LSD. Like whatever it is, like pay attention to how that's impacting your mood when you're on it and even when you're off of it, because your body is interacting. Either it's interacting with the fact that it is, I just heard exorbitant amount. So maybe you do this a lot, but it's like it's reacting when it's receiving this substance that it normally wouldn't have. And it's in your system. And then there's also a reaction that you have when it's not receiving it, because now it's gotten used to, or whatever the situation is. Do you know what I mean? So if there's not, I don't, please take this with peace, or, I mean, you're going to take it however you take it. I want to be clear though, that I'm not saying this to intentionally upset you, but there's not so much of, spirit isn't really talking so much so spirit isn't talking so much about what benefits you in the relationship, because I'm just getting the energy that you, like, if I tell you, you would get lost in that and hold on to that. And again, like I said about the straw analogy, like the lesson of this reading, you would just kind of throw it to the side or try to smooth talk your way around it. And that very type of interaction is dangerous for you. Okay, so now what I'm seeing is like a visual of like a house burning on fire, and you can be standing right in front of the house, and like the pieces are kind of like flying, and you're just like, everything's fine. Do you like my dress? You know, or if you're a guy, like, everything's fine. Do you like my sneakers? Or whatever it is. But you know what I mean? And it's like this house is literally about to collapse on you. Like, can you acknowledge that it's burning so you can move away from it? Do you know what I mean? But you're like protecting. You're defensive. You're like, no, it's not on fire. It's just like a tiny little spark. You know what I mean? Like, it'll go out. Not supposed to rain anyway. Like, that's how you would interact with it. That's that, like, it's better when you're angry. Come here, I'll prove it now. Like, that's how you interact with friction in situations. And because you interact with friction in a way that it's like it doesn't exist, and you kind of like sugarcoat it with these elements that are beneficial to you, it's keeping you, I just heard, stagnant and stuck. So, my throat feels so restricted and my heart is like beating out of my chest. So I don't know. I don't know if I feel like that's, I don't know if I said something. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it here. I hate to just cut it off so abruptly, but this energy is, it's not that I don't like your energy. I don't like the way it feels in my body sitting in it. Like, my heart feels like, first of all, I feel like I want to just bust into complete tears, and I'm having a hard time holding that back. And my heart is beating like almost so fast that I feel like I can, feel it in my throat, and I want to like gag and throw up, and I feel very shaky. So, anyways, so that's what I have for you, pile 3. I hope that this was helpful, truly. I hope this provided some sort of clarity, in that even if it was difficult to listen to, maybe after you can like take a breather, if you choose, maybe come back and re-listen to it, or not. However you decide is fine. I hope that you are able to take away the message, seriously, the message that Spirit is giving you, because it's to help you. It's for your growth and for your benefit. But whether you choose to come back and re-listen or not is fine. I super would appreciate if you interacted. Let me know if maybe the delivery wasn't great, maybe you didn't really love that, or maybe it's what you needed. Either way, I hope to see you again in a future video, pile 3. Thank you so much for coming. Bye.